So try to imagine you have a rabid werewolf who's like diseased and has now no control of his faculties, and you've got to try to shove this liquid into its mouth. Let's see what this would look like.
Like I did a few months ago, unleash the beast. Release the werewolf. We're all grateful, but we're still worried about Zylo. Thank you so much for all you've done. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back with my daughter. He's home. My daddy's home. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for saving our men. Did you bring Moonstone? Yes, that is Moonstone. I will make Lunar Dew immediately. Here you go, Lunar Dew. Zylo will make a full recovery. Aw, yeah. We're gonna get one of the most powerful members of the Shining Force. He's awesome. Zylo the werewolf. Oh, yeah. He's extremely useful, maybe a little limited on defense, but his attack's awesome. He can move awesome. His movement's not impacted by woods because he's a wolf. It's awesome. He's really awesome in the next battle. Kakichi never listens to me when he's doing research. I'm helping Kokichi to figure out how to fly. Hum. What are you doing? Don't touch anything, you meddler! Ugh. New in town, eh? Go out back and I'll show you my latest invention. Or I'll show the Wright brothers what I'm doing. I'm helping Kokichi how to fly. Watch carefully. Here I go. Good luck, Kokichi. Oh, Kokichi. So this is a Shining Force guy we're gonna get later. He's a flyer with his contraption. He's easy to miss because you have to finagle with his engine. Sounds like he's dead. Well, it didn't work this time either. Okay. Alright, I guess that's that. Another failure. I'm starting to think Kokichi should just give up. Nothing is unusual. It always looks good at first, then something goes wrong. It never fails. Ugh. Please save Zylo. Do you really want me to open the prison door? Please be careful. What do you want? Leave me alone or I'll tear you apart. Use whose item? Maxstone pour Lunar Dew into Zylo's mouth. Oh boy.
So try to imagine you have a rabid werewolf who's like diseased and has now no control of his faculties, and you've got to try to shove this liquid into its mouth. Let's see what this would look like.
Yuck, awful taste, but I'm myself again. Oh yeah, he's gonna join the Shining Force. Yeah. Ignore messages. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Zylo is now in the Shining Force. But in headquarters now, I have to figure out who I have to leave behind. And I'm going to leave behind one of the bird... I think the bird woman's weaker. Sorry, one of the bird people have to go. Yep, so I'm leaving Ken, Gong, and Diane no longer in the party. But Zylo, oh boy, do you want him in your party, especially for the next battle. He's freaking awesome. He starts at a high level too, level 9. And I think he gets to... So you can start promoting at level 10, but it's usually wise to wait till probably at least level 15 is a good idea. Because of the way promotion works in this darn game. Alright, and I sit here and sift around to figure out who I should leave behind. And I think Amon has the weaker stats overall. So I'll take Balveroy with me, because the Birdmen, again, their ability to fly and their extreme maneuverability does come into play. There is a huge advantage to it, because they can kind of swoop in on weaker defense enemies, like mages and healers and such, so they can be valuable in that regard. And of course, one key benefit of Zylo is he doesn't require any weapons. He has built-in claws, so he has really powerful attack without needing any weapons. So no need to spend money on him in a shop or anything like that. Alright, this is basically another 2 battle in a row kind of scenario going on here. The bridge battle is right after this when you get to the bridge, but you can take a break in between the battles to heal up in the town. Anyway, let's see what Tactician Max has anything to say.
As you can see here, or rather, can you not see here, the laser eye is still putting out this EMP effect. You cannot see my video feed. Yes, but my strategy for this battle is to use the werewolf zylo. He will do well. He can move through the forest, and if you simply utilize him, that is all you need. Yeah.
Alright. Awesome strategy. Use the werewolf. Yes. Thank you, Tactician Max. Yeah. Alright. Kind of a slogfest with these woods, but you have some characters that can fly, and Zylo's movement is not impacted by woods. I guess because he's a werewolf, he can kind of go through the woods super quick. So, he has good maneuverability in this battle, but some characters really struggle, like the healers. The healers end up moving like 2 or 3 spaces each, and it's really annoying. They end up falling behind, so what ends up happening is I had to kind of retreat some guys that took damage to bring them back to where they could be healed, because the healers just can't move well in this battle. Yep, so I put it to 1.25 speed. I figured that was good. It keeps it moving, but it's not so fast that it's not enjoyable. So hopefully it's still enjoyable. I just wanted to kind of get it moving, because otherwise this battle was going to be like... This movie was going to be 40 minutes. So I think 1.25 speed is reasonable, but if you guys put in the comments for me not to mess with the speed and leave it at 1.0, I can do that. Certainly for the more epic fights, I'll leave it at 1.0, but I definitely like to speed through just some of the slogfest, and this is one of those battles that's definitely a slogfest. Kind of annoying that Balberry just doesn't have good offense yet. If the target has any decent level of defense, it's just not going to work. But he can see he's still good at swooping in on the weaker defense characters like the priests and mages and archers. I guess they call them snipers, but they're archers. Unfortunately, Anri dies in this battle before she can reach level 7, so she's really starting to fall behind. And I gotta work on her because mages are always good for the reasons I've stated many times. And my leader, Max Stone, I think he gets to level 8. Interestingly enough, though, he doesn't gain any stat boosts. Like, sometimes when you gain a level, you don't gain any stat increase. I think your stat increases are, like, random. They're random between certain ranges and certain levels. So sometimes you can get unlucky, and with a level up, you get no stat boosts, which is kind of stupid. A level up should give you at least something, but it is possible to gain a level and not get any stat increases. All it would do is make you closer to promotion or whatever. So, you know, sometimes you'll level up and you'll get a boost of like 5 or 6 points to certain stats, and then other times you'll level up and just get 1 point to a stat or even 0 points to a stat. So it's kind of random, but every character has certain ranges of stats that they improve upon when they level up. And some characters are really powerful in the beginning and they kind of taper off in terms of their stat boost, and then other characters are the opposite. You got to give them tender, loving care, work on them, and then later on they'll get a lot stronger. But the Knight Arthur, of course, you got to keep working on him because get that magic. And if you actually look at him, he's got some magic points, which kind of implies he's going to eventually be able to cast spells. Now, his spells, of course, won't be as powerful as a mage's, but still, it gives him a lot of versatility. It's just for a knight to use magic is becoming kind of a jack of all trades, although a dedicated spellcaster is still going to have more powerful magic, but it'll be fairly effective. God, see, that's where she dies. One hit. That's the problem with these glass cannons. Like, they get one hit from the wrong enemy and they're gone. And it's hard to keep them totally protect them. It can be really tough. So I noticed in this battle that the enemies seem to retreat a lot, and they won't actually attack you. They'll kind of just stay there and only attack certain certain members of the force and stuff. It's kind of weird, but I guess helping to make this battle a little bit easier, I guess. But the AI in this game's, if it's designed to win, it's designed poorly. There's still some tough fights and everything, but there's certain battles where the AI retreats. I think they fixed some of this in Shining Force 2, so Shining Force 2 is the superior game, but I think it's also a harder game. They fixed some of the AI, and so the AI won't just target your leader, because A lot of times if your leader is kind of out in the open, the AI will go straight for your leader. Knowing that if it kills the leader, that's it, game over. But it might be smarter to kill a mage or something that could do more damage. And I think they fixed that in Shining Force 2, where they'll go after like the mage or the healer before the leader if the leader is tough. Yep, healing themselves. That's just more experience. It just takes longer to kill them, but that's fine. I'm farming some experience. One thing to note is healers have to absolutely heal at least 1 HP to gain experience. So I had the bright idea of just joining a battle and leveling my healers by having them heal characters that were at full health right at the start of the battle, and then just retreat, and doing that as a way of grinding levels for the healers. But you can't do that. Healers have to actually heal repair damage, even if it's just 1 damage to gain experience. If you heal on a target that has full HP, you won't gain any experience. So much for that idea. Because otherwise, healers are really hard to level up. Because they eventually get to a point where they can only hurt enemies that are maybe at 2 or 3 HP if they're lucky. A lot of times their attacks will just do 1 HP of damage. But when they heal, I mean, it's only like maybe 10, 20 experience at the most if you heal a whole bunch of hit points. But as we see, killing enemies often gives you like 48 experience. So it's just killing enemies just gives so much more experience compared to healing. So your healers end up falling behind, which is tragic because eventually there's some pretty powerful heal spells in this game. There's also a spell called Aura, which will heal a bunch of your characters at once, and I think Aura level 4 like will heal every single one of your party no matter where they're at on the battlefield. So it basically has infinite range. I mean, in the end game, there's really powerful magic. There's magic that can hit a huge radius, like way bigger than the square and the adjacent squares. And again, with Aura 4, you can basically heal your entire party. Definitely an end game heal. Oh, God. Oh no, we're not getting an update on Battletoads level 3. No. Yep, we're just gonna silence that. I don't need freaking Professor T-Bird's crap. Don't need that right now. No. Pegasus Knights. Their attack is not too powerful. I think like the lizard men hit harder and some other enemies hit harder, but they're extremely maneuverable and they're actually pretty hard to hit. They have really good evade. It's actually pretty annoying. It's frustrating when you plan an attack and your attack just doesn't connect. You never have that problem with magic. Magic never misses, so enemies like that are a good target for magic because you're guaranteed to do damage. But these damn flying enemies tend to have higher evade, which I think is the agility stat. Is their chance to evade, and that also I think factors into how quickly your turn comes up with the agility stat. So having that high means that you potentially could end up taking more turns than the enemy if your agility stat's really high. and you might go first, etc., etc. So, because it does seem like some creatures tend to go more than others, and kind of annoying. Even speeding it up, this battle just seems like it's one of those long slog fests. It just takes forever. So, my goal, I want to see if I could possibly finish this Shining Force playthrough by Halloween. I was planning to do a special long grand finale closing of basically Battle 29 and Battle 30 together, the last two battles in the game, with the ending credits and of course all my extras. And I was going to maybe possibly premiere it on Halloween or just upload it on Halloween. But to do that between now and Halloween, at the end of October of course, I can only afford not to upload a Shining Force video like 5 days in this month. So I can only miss it 5 days, so it might be challenging. I might not be able to do it. I tend to be, believe it or not, I tend to be busier on the weekends because I help my wife clean houses and stuff. I tend to be busier when I'm with her in Mobile on the weekends, but during the week when I'm at work, it seems like I actually have more time, believe it or not, because I'm not dealing with the house stuff that I normally deal with. So that's good. And of course, the next battle, because after this battle, we're a third of the way. We're done with Battle 10, so we're a third of the way. 10 battles down, 20 to go. And the next battle is fun, the laser eye battle. That'll be a fun one. We're getting there. It's just these slogs through the woods, they just take forever. I can't believe this video, even with sped up, is only 30 minutes. It feels like I've been trying to add the audio to this for like hours. I don't know, it just feels that way. It just takes forever. Fortunately, I think some of the battles towards the end, they tend to be inside ancient civilization ruins. And by ancient, you know, we tend to think of that as meaning primitive, but in this universe, the ancients had advanced technology, as we'll see with the laser eye. So, ancient civilization doesn't necessarily mean primitive. In this case, the ancient civilization was very advanced. Maybe even spacefaring, I don't know. But they had really good technology. And Runefaust, of course, is trying to take advantage of that. And I think Dark Dragon is actually... I think Dark Dragon is basically like a xenomorph of the ancient civilization. Like, it's a creature. It's not, as far as I know, it's not like it's not a robot or anything, but it's basically a giant zombie xenomorph dragon. So it's pretty badass. Definitely a nice final boss. Yeah. Now, I'm not really sure how the civilization collapsed. Like, Dark Dragon might have been responsible for that. So, Dark Dragon might have, in its destruction, collapsed the ancient advanced civilization. And, like in a very desperate move, Dark Dragon was sealed away for 1,000 years. So, that was probably when the ancient civilization fell into ruin, was because of Dark Dragon, or it could have been some other calamity. I don't know, but Runefaust has some way of discovering some of this old technology, so I'll be fighting robots and things. And spoiler alert, one of the robots, that you'll get a robot party member called Adam, who's going to join your force. He's actually really weak when you get him, because your guys are just so far along at that point. And you have to really spend a lot of time catching him up. He's pretty awesome if you're able to catch him up, but it's just very tough to catch him up at that point, because he's so far behind when you first get him. So a lot of people don't bother with him, and I probably won't bother with him either. But if you spend time on him, he has like a pretty badass like laser attack special that he sometimes doesn't always do, but sometimes he'll do it. It's pretty awesome. Alright, I think that's it. Battle 10 is finally finished. A third of the way through, 10 battles down, 20 to go. And a really fun battle coming up next. Stay tuned, stay informed. Yeah. Oh, one last thing. I had a request to show this, but this is how you revive your characters. So I was going to show that, plus show what happens when you save and quit. So, I think I showed this once before, but yeah, that's how you revive them. Pretty simple. Just go to the priest, pay 10 gold per level, and the character comes right back. And they retain all their experience. Oh yeah, and when you save and quit, you'll get a little snippet from the little girl. Yeah. Enjoy.